What's up guys, my name is Zanprez and welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's video is super exciting. I haven't really done anything like this before on the channel, but I'm going to be going through and making a tier list of every single bee in the entire game right now. And I'm so excited to do this. Like I said, very different than anything that I've ever done, and this is obviously going to be my opinion on how all of the bees work together and where they rank based on the other bees in the entire game. But yeah, let's just get into this video. I know this video is going to be pretty long, but before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know, definitely go check out our Discord. That'll be linked down in the description. Come chat with me and the rest of the community. It is so fun over there, and I love getting to meet you guys and talk with you guys. Also, go join our Roblox group and check out some of the merch we have over there. I'll put some pictures of it up on the screen right now. And if you like any of what you're seeing, definitely make sure to go check that out. And yeah, with all that being said, I am so excited to get into this video. I have kind of made a little template thing to work with, and I say we just head over there, make a tier list of every single one of these bees that is currently in the game right now. And yeah, I'll get over there and I'll see you guys when we are at the place where we're gonna rank all the bees. So I've gone over here and made a template actually for this video. I'm sure you guys have at some point seen a video where they use a template similar to this and just kind of put things over on the list. So F tier is the lowest, S tier is the highest. And we're gonna just pretend that every single one of these bees is their normal version, not the gifted version. I know some of these pictures are actually the gifted version of the bee, but we're just gonna pretend that all of these are the regular version of the bee, not the gifted version. So now that that's out of the way, I say we get right into this because there's a lot of bees. There's 43 bees, and I don't want this video to be super long, so let's get right into this. I actually think that I might do a video very soon actually, where I go in and do the same video but for the gifted version of each bees, which would actually be a lot different. So let's get right into this. So the first bee that we're going to talk about is Basic Bee. Now Basic Bee, when it's a normal bee, not gifted or anything, it's good, but it's really not that great. So with that being said, we're going to put it down in F tier. Poor Basic Bee, but that's where Basic Bee goes. Next up is Bomber Bee, and we're also going to put Bomber Bee down in F tier because bombs fill up our bag really fast, and that's pretty much all that Bomber Bee does, and it doesn't have that great of stats all the way around. Next up is going to be Brave Bee. Now, Brave Bee is a pretty good bee, like Brave Bee. I think we're going to stick him at C tier for now, just because Brave Bee's got some decent stats, but it just doesn't really give many ability tokens on the field. It just helps with your attack a little bit, so I think we're going to stick that there for now. Next up is Bumblebee. This is just regular Bumblebee. I know the picture that I have of Bumblebee is the gifted version, but we're just going to talk about the regular version of Bumblebee. We're going to also put this at F tier, I think, because this does not give you boost tokens. It just gives you blue bomb tokens, which can end up filling your bag up pretty quickly. So then next here, this is Cool Bee. I think we're going to stick Cool Bee at D tier, because it does give you boost tokens, which I find are super helpful, but it's just really not that great of a bee all the way around. So I just don't think it would be fair to put it up any higher. And then next up is Hasty Bee. I actually really like Hasty Bee. I think we'll stick Hasty Bee up on B tier, and I think it's very deserving of that because it does give you extra speed, which is super helpful, and with that little bit of extra speed, it can really do a lot for you, especially when you're doing boosts and stuff. So definitely B tier for Hasty Bee. Looker Bee, I think we should also put at B tier as well, because it gives you that focus. Focus is probably the most important stat in the game, so I definitely have to put that one up at B tier. Next up here, Rad Bee. I say we put Rad Bee with D tier as well, just because it does give the red boost tokens, very similar to the Cool Bee. It's kind of the equivalent as Cool Bee for a red hive. So anyway, we'll put Rad Bee down there. Rascal Bee, I think we gotta stick Rascal Bee at D tier too. It's kind of like Cool Bee and Rad Bee are the same, and then Bumblebee and Rascal Bee are the same, so I think we gotta keep them down there. We have quite a few bees in F tier, but I promise you that's gonna change as we keep moving along through the video. Next up, Stubborn Bee. I think Stubborn Bee is a great bee as well. Move that to B for now, I'm thinking, just because it gives that pollen mark, which is super helpful. I think that is a very deserving spot for Stubborn Bee actually, but we could move him around a little bit. We're gonna put Bumblebee as well in B tier, I'm thinking. I just think it has some really good stats, and it has its own little passive. It's just a really good bee. Next up is the Bucko Bee. I think Bucko Bee is good. I think this is gonna be a pretty big section, is gonna be B tier. So we're probably gonna have to end up moving these around a little bit more, but I think Bucko Bee is deserving of B tier because it has blue boost tokens and it has really good all-around stats. The Commander Bee, I think this is going to be our first bee to go into A tier, and that's because it has Focus and Buzz Bomb. I just think it's great all around, and it has a really good attack as well on it, which is always a super nice perk to have. The next up is the Demon Bee, or not the Demon Bee, the Demo Bee. What am I saying? The Demo Bee. I say we stick this one in D tier because it only has Buzz Bomb Pollen, and its stats really all the way around aren't amazing. Next is Exhausted Bee, and we'll take Exhausted Bee and stick it in C tier actually. Add another one to C tier because it does have Token Link and it does have unlimited energy. Its stats just really aren't great. It only has one attack and its speed is not good at all. So we'll put that there for now, and then the Fire Bee is next, and I say we stick this in B tier as well because it's very similar to the Bumblebee, and it has Red Bomb Plus, which is good, and Gathering Flames passive. It's just a very good bee. I think people like it all the way around, and again, it does have a good attack as well, so that's always a perk. And then next, I'm gonna take Frosty Bee and put him in C tier for now. I think that C tier is good because it does have a blue boost and it has Blue Bomb Plus, but it doesn't have a good speed and it has a really bad attack as well. So then next up, Honeybee. Honeybee is the classic Bee Swarm Bee. We're gonna stick this one in C tier, and it does have Honey Mark and Honey Gift. Those just aren't the best stats around. It doesn't have a super good attack, and it doesn't have a good speed either, but it's Honeybee, right? And that Honey Mark is pretty good as well, so we'll stick that here. And then the Rage Bee. Rage Bee, I think this Rage Bee is deserving of, well, not that bee. Rage Bee is deserving, what am I doing? Rage Bee is deserving of A tier for sure, because it gives you that Rage token, which is so helpful, and also has Token Link. I'd say this could even be almost considered S tier, but I don't think that it's quite S tier yet. Next, Riley Bee. Riley Bee, very similar to Bucko Bee. I say we have to put that one in B tier as well, because these two bees are super similar. And then Shocked Bee. This is our final epic bee to talk about, and I'd say we put Shocked Bee in D tier. It doesn't really have the best stats. It does have Token Link and Haste, which is good, but really it's just, I don't think that it's much better than D tier. So now we're moving on to the legendaries. So here we go. Let's take our first legendary, and that's going to be Baby Bee. We're going to put Baby Bee in A tier, and the reason for that is purely because of its Baby Love ability, which will give you a lot more loot luck, and it will also give you just more honey per second, which is so ridiculously powerful. But just because it has such bad other stats, that's why it can't be S tier, but Baby Bee definitely deserving of A tier. Then we have Carpenter Bee. Carpenter Bee, I'd say, is also gonna be considered A tier. It has Pollen Mark, Honey Mark Plus. It's really good all around. It has a great attack, definitely deserving of the A tier. So next is Demon Bee. Demon Bee is really not my favorite. I do like how it looks a lot, but I'd say it's only deserving of C tier. It's not a very good legendary bee. It does have Red Bomb and Red Bomb Plus, but you don't really love the red bombs and even bombs in general, just because they can be a little bit tricky to work with and they can fill your bag really quickly, which isn't always a good thing. So I think that we're gonna have to stick that one at C tier. And very similarly, we have the Diamond Bee up next, but Diamond Bee in my opinion is a bit better. I think Diamond Bee is A tier because it has an amazing conversion at your hive, and it has Blue Boost and Honey Gift as well, which aren't the best, but Blue Boost, you'll always take it, and the conversion at your hive, unmatched. It's absolutely amazing. Really, really good bee. And then we have Lion Bee. Lion Bee, I'd say we're kind of following this trend. Just put that one in A tier as well, solely because it has an amazing attack. Probably one of the highest attacks in the game, with an attack of 8 at its very base stat. And it has Buzz Bomb Plus, not great, but the attack puts it up in A tier for sure. And then, right here, Music Bee. This is going to be our first bee to go in S tier because it has Melody, Focus, and Token Link. Arguably the 3 most important tokens that you're going to need to have on your bees at one time. So this is definitely going to be a bee that you want to have a bunch of. Melody is absolutely amazing. Definitely deserving of S tier in my opinion. And then we're going to have Ninja Bee. Ninja Bee, I'd say, should go in B tier. It's a good bee, but it has Blue Bomb Plus, which isn't great, and it does have haste, and it has pretty good all-around stats. So we're gonna stick that one in B tier as well. It's a very good bee, it's just not good enough to be higher up on the list. And then we have Shy Bee, very similarly. I'd say this one should also go into B tier, and this is mostly because it's just, it has Red Bomb as well, which I really don't like, and the attack is pretty low on Shy Bee as well. So I'd say B tier is being generous, and we'll stick Shy Bee in B tier. Next up, we're gonna move on to the mythics here. Fuzzy Bee is going to be our first one. Fuzzy Bee is definitely S tier because no matter what hive you are, Fuzzy Bee can benefit you by upgrading the flowers in the field. An amazing, amazing, amazing bee. You're definitely going to want it. And regardless of it being gifted or not, it still is a really, really great bee. So next we're going to have Spicy Bee. Spicy Bee, I wish I could put it higher up, but this is just an A tier. Because it does have Rage, and it does have a really good all-around stats. It has a good attack and everything. I just don't think that it's necessarily S tier like some of the other bees on this list are gonna be. So for now, that's where the Spicy Bee is gonna have to rest. Next up, Tadpole Bee and Vector Bee. I say both of these are gonna go up in the A tier because they're very good bees. I just don't think that they're much higher than this, honestly. Tadpole does have the Summon Frog and Blue Boost, but it doesn't have really good stats all the way around at all. It's actually a pretty bad all-around stat bee. And then Vector Bee is good all-around stats. It has Pollen Mark and Triangulate. If I did have to put one of these 3 mythic bees up in S tier, it would be Vector, but I just don't think that Vector should be up there quite yet. So we're gonna put Vector here for now. I guess that is subject to change a little bit later, but we'll keep it here for now. And let's move on to the event bees. Now that's super exciting. We're gonna start off with Bear Bee. I'm gonna absolutely put Bear Bee in S tier because it can give you the Bear Morph, which will give you 2 times pollen, which is absolutely insane. You're definitely gonna want to have a Bear Bee. It is worth Robux. It costs Robux, but if you are gonna want to play this game for a while, I would totally recommend it because it really will help you out a ton. So next up is actually gonna be Cobalt and Crimson Bee. Now, I say that these bees are gonna both fall under B tier, and I see a problem we're running into now is we're not going to have quite enough room on B tier, so I'm going to get back to you guys in a second. I'm going to adjust some of these so we have enough space for them. Alright you guys, so I fixed up the list. I think it looks a little bit better now. So then we're going to go over, take our Cobalt Bee and our Crimson Bee and stick these both into B tier. I'm not going to adjust their size quite yet. I will do that a little bit later, but here we go. These bees are going to go here. They're great event bees, but I definitely do not think that they should go up any higher. Probably some of the slightly less good, I don't know if that's the right word to say, but event bees, they are pretty good and they both work well nicely together, but they just really aren't worth going much higher up on this list, just because their abilities that they give you are good, but the tokens that they drop just don't really benefit you as much as some of the other bees that are higher up on the list than these two. So for now, these two are going to be here. So the next thing, we're going to move on to Festive Bee. Now, I say we should put Festive Bee in B tier as well. It's hard to say, honestly, with this bee, because it is a very... I don't know what the right word to use for Festive Bee is. It is a very RNG-based bee, I guess you could say, where RNG meaning random number generator, you could get really lucky or you could get really unlucky with this bee. It's kind of a hit or miss, but you could potentially get really lucky, so I think it's got to go a little bit higher up on this list. It also could drop the Festive Blessings from this bee, which is super nice, but that ability does not come very often, so it just can't be much higher up on this list. And since this video is not talking about the gifted version of the bee, I just don't think we can put it up any higher on the list, but for now this is gonna be where it goes. Alright, so next up is Gummy Bee. Gummy Bee is going to drop its own gumdrops on the field for you pretty much, which is going to be absolutely insane. It's pretty much just free gumdrops all the time on your field in the version of a bee, so it's super good. It's not A tier, I would say, just because, you know, gumdrops do help a lot, but it's not dropping so much goo on the field to the point where it would be as good as dropping gumdrops all the time, which totally makes sense because if it was that OP, then it would kind of be game breaking. But I definitely think Gummy Bee is A tier. You could probably argue for it to be up a little bit higher on this list, but I just kind of want S tier to be something a little bit more exclusive. Next up is going to be Photon Bee. Photon Bee, my opinion, is S tier. It's really good. It gives you haste. It has unlimited energy. It has the Beam Storm ability. It has pretty good all-around stats. Great conversion at your hive. Great collection. I just think it's a great bee. Probably one of the first bees you should be spending your tickets on for at the ticket tent. I always recommend get Tabby Bee and then get Photon Bee at the ticket tent. So definitely do that. I think Photon Bee is 100% S tier, and I don't think too many people would argue that. So the next up is Puppy Bee. Now, Puppy Bee honestly gets no love, but in this video, is not going to get any more love because this is a D tier bee. I mean, honestly, I probably should be putting Puppy Bee in F tier. It would be higher up if this was a gifted Puppy Bee, but we're not talking about the gifted version. This Puppy Bee on its own is really not that great at all. But it just doesn't have great all-around stats. However, it does have a good conversion at hive, so I don't think it would be fair to put it in F tier right now. So I definitely think D tier for the Puppy Bee, but it is 100% way too expensive for the amount of tickets that it costs than, you know, what you get from buying it with tickets. So I'm gonna put this at D tier. My opinion, it is the worst event bee. There have been things added to the game to try to make it a little bit better, but I don't know if it really has made it that much better. Next up, Tabby Bee. Tabby Bee is S tier, probably the best bee in the entire game. If you can get Tabby Love maxed out, absolutely phenomenal bee. It has a great ability called Scratch, which will just be so helpful to you. When it is completely maxed out, it will convert so much at your hive, it will collect so much in fields, and it has a really good attack, a really great speed, and it has a pretty good amount of energy as well. So this is 100% S tier, and always the first event bee that I would recommend getting with your tickets from the ticket tent. And then we have two more bees, as you can see down here. We have Vicious Bee and Windy Bee, which I think goes without saying. Vicious Bee is going to be S tier as well as Windy Bee. Vicious Bee has an amazing attack. It's absolutely essential to have in your hive if you are planning on doing anything that involves attacking, especially because of its Impale ability. Its base attack is a little bit lower than the Lion Bee's attack, but its Impale ability helps it so much. It has a great speed, it has a ton of energy, and it's just such a helpful bee. Absolutely amazing bee, and it is a little bit tough to get, but it isn't the worst bee to get in the entire game. And finally, Windy Bee here. Windy Bee is absolutely amazing as well. It is so hard to get, but it is totally worth the time that it takes to get this bee. It has the Tornado, and it summons a cloud, and it has the white boost ability token on it as well. It's just absolutely fantastic. This bee will help so much when it comes to attacking things, and also doing sprouts in fields, and just all the way around. It's so helpful. It will collect pollen for you. Absolutely amazing. But I think this is my final version of the tier list for the bees. Let me know what you guys think. This is obviously just my opinion. I definitely think that there are some things that could be changed around in here. I am pretty confident with some of these things, but there are bees where I'm like, this could go lower, this could go a little bit higher up. Let me know down in the comments what bees you think should be higher up, what bees you think should be lower, just anything like that. And also let me know if you want me to do a video just like this, except with the gifted version of each bee. I think I'm gonna actually do that video, but let me know if you guys do want to see that. And I probably would do that video in a couple days, actually, maybe even as soon as tomorrow. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. I am so excited to finally get to do a video where I rank something like this. It's been super exciting getting to kind of do this. It is kind of tricky because sometimes things don't go exactly as planned, and the software is a little bit glitchy, but I think we figured it out. I can try to do some things to make it a little bit better and flow a little bit better, but we'll definitely see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go join the Discord, as well as go get yourself some of that merch. And make sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.